should be like you, Melvin.
Ultimate on-demand destination for the UK's best fan-led football podcasts.
Want authentic supporter insight on all things Bournemouth? Follow Up the Cherries in all departments on the TalkSport Fan Network.
Club-dedicated content created by the fans, for the fans.
Search
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, Cherries fans from around the world. Welcome to another edition of Cherry AM on what seems to be another glorious day. Welcome again to my fabulous co-host, Malcolm Chiverton. Good morning, Malcolm.
Morning, Ollie. Morning, everybody in the chat. Yeah, super sunny here today, blue skies.
Good. Yeah, fantastic news. Fantastic. We'll go to the chat before we discuss what's happening today. But exciting weekend coming up, so should be a good show this morning. Paul from Oz is the first in the chat. Hi all. Have to watch later today due to changed schedule. Wish you all the best. Have a great show tonight, lads. Paul from Oz. Thanks, Paul.
Thanks for that, Paul.
Hoping all is well, mate. Hi, Ollie and Malcolm. Looking forward to a great show with all things football related.
Morning, Darren. Hi.
Yeah, I imagine that must be an insight into yesterday's show, possibly.
Bit of a reference to yesterday, yeah.
Okay. Chris Hubble. Morning, Ollie, Malcolm. Morning, Chris.
Morning, Chris.
Paul Sants. Good morning, everyone. Morning, Paul.
Yeah, morning, Paul.
Morning, Ollie and Malcolm from a rainy Pool.
Oh dear. Hi, Dan.
Yeah. Morning, Dan. And Jay Soma Comedy. Morning. Shocking news emerged late last night. Lineker won Best Presenter at NTAs.
Morning, Jay.
That's a good one, Jay. Morning. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, we like a bit of fun, don't we?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And I think that's essentially what we're going to be doing this morning, isn't it? Is our own slice of fun, Malcolm. Deciding the starting 11 and the possible subs bench for the game on Saturday at 3 p.m. against Brighton. We've got quite a choice, haven't we, at our fingertips here? And it could absolutely go one way or the other, to be honest. Matt just says here, morning guys, hope you're all well. Loving the 2012 home shirt, Ollie. Thanks.
Morning,
yeah,
Matt.
This one's got Hudson on the back. This is one of the original ones that I got.
Well done.
Sean, morning guys. Morning,
Yeah,
Sean.
morning, Sean.
Morning, Sean. Yes, so me and Malcolm are going to be delivering our starting 11 and our subs bench for Saturday's game against Brighton. And then we're also going to be discussing the departure and permanent deal of one of our, should we say, up-and-coming younger players.
Yeah.
We'll discuss that at the end as well. But for now, I would love to jump straight into it. I know that previously this week I've already given my thoughts. I have changed mine a tad. So I'd like to see what Malcolm's got first, if that's all right.
Yeah. Where do we start? Obviously in goal. Oh, morning,
yes.
Liam.
Yeah, morning, Liam. Sorry, flashed that a bit too quick.
Yeah,
and
that's
also
okay.
morning, Nur Adley as well, because we've got him saying good morning too.
No,
Cool.
yeah,
Yeah.
morning. Yeah.
Go ahead whenever you're ready, man.
Okay, so Petrovic in goal, no brainer, really, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I'm going to go left to right. So Trofeo,
Mm-hmm.
Senesi, Ducati, and right back, I'm going to put James Hill in there. I really wanted to put Jimenez in, but I think James Hill has actually earned his position there after the Tottenham game. Pretty solid performance. And this is where it gets really sticky because who do you put in the middle? Tyler Adams, for me, obviously a no-brainer. He has to go in there. And I really torn between two or three here. I'm going to put Ryan Christie in the middle with Adams.
Okay.
Brooksy out on the right. Alex Scott and Antoine with Eva up front. Bearing in mind, when I look at the subs we got, it's just so difficult to try and say, yes, that's got to be the starting 11. We're not Andoni. It's just our way of thought, really.
Mm-hmm.
Fans will obviously have their opinions, rightly so. But it's an interesting thing to have, to sit down and try and work out, what would he do? What would he change, if anything? Look at the opposition as well, which you have to do.
Yeah.
Brighton is not Tottenham. So tough opposition. Always play a good game against us. So how are we gonna play? I mean, if you want to yawn, have a yawn. Poor Ollie's a bit tired this morning.
I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
Okay, so my subs, I've got Tavernier, Clivert, Jimenez, Prupi, Adley, Dennis, goalkeeper, obviously, Soler, Milos, and Doak. And there was a question mark at the bottom because I obviously didn't know Lewis Cook. Is he back yet or not? Not sure. I don't think he is, but they did say after the international break. So I haven't put him on the bench at all.
And in regards to those sub players that you've just mentioned, those bench players, who would you like to see come on and make an impact in the second half?
Who would I like to see? I'd like to see the two new guys come on and make an impact. I don't think he'll put both on. Possibly Jimenez, or Jimenez, possibly. I'm not sure if Milos is ready yet, but who knows? Who knows? Obviously, you have to see how the game pans out. Tactical tweaks during the game. Anything is possible. Obviously, with Doak having a super performance for Scotland in the week, that would have been noted. Wow, what can you say? Clivert, we know what he can do. It was difficult to leave Tav out, my perspective, but I think he could possibly come on. Maybe a swap with Alex Scott. Who knows? It just I mean, we've got a choice, haven't we?
Yeah, absolutely, we do. And there isn't too much I would change about that starting lineup. There are some changes. I'd keep the goalkeeper and the back four exactly the same. That's a no-brainer, I think, in my mind. I would then do something similar up top, but just not quite the same. So Tyler Adams, Alex Scott, right David Brooks, left Antoine, centre attacking Tav, and then up front Evan Nilsson.
Yeah, okay.
And then on the bench, obviously Jimenez, Christie, Clivert, Adley,
Right,
and Doak. I think if we bring on, I know that we're talking Milos as well is in there, and there's definitely other players that could have a look in, but I think there's 4 players to really focus on in regards to subs, and I think that has to be Jimenez, Christie, Clivert, and Adley. I think if
Yeah.
we look at bringing those 4 on after 60 minutes, that is a storm of a sub bench. Like wherever anyone's opinion is, that is a huge and strong sub bench to bring on at 60
It really
minutes.
is. It really is. Yeah.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
So it would be fantastic to now. Obviously, I know that Brighton are a bit of a stickler, and at the moment they are slotting goals away. So I've got a concern that we concede early, unfortunately, and it's going to be a battle from the start. And I think that in the second half, if we can bring on legs like Clivert, like Christie, like Adley and Jimenez, then there's not really too much that will be able to stop our momentum and our pace in that final third in the second half. So
Yeah.
I'm not. Yeah, it's going to be a tough one. I think it's going to be a really tough game on Saturday.
Yeah.
But I think now's our time to shine. I was talking maybe on Tuesday or maybe at the weekend about this being James Hill's time. This being James Hill's time to come out, starting 11, and to really make an impact in the first half of the game to show why he can be a starting player. Fingers crossed, really fingers crossed for him. But we'll see. In regards to two standout players, who would you like to see perform the best on Saturday out of that starting 11?
Well, I'm going to go for. Oh, that's a toughie in it because we know what they can do, what their potentials are. That really is a toughie. To be honest here, I mean, if you want a standout player, I think Tyler Adams anyway.
Yeah.
And do you know what? I'd like to see Brooksy step in with a goal. There we are. Because his performances have been superb. The only thing missing is a goal from him. But
again,
I mean,
Brighton's the kind of game where Brooksy would shine and get a goal, I feel.
Yeah, I'd like to see us start the same way as we did against Tottenham. So you give Brighton the ball. Now Brighton do like to play out from the back. And if you watch back on the Tottenham game, whenever they had a goal kick, free kick in the box or whatever, our high press was absolutely phenomenal. We just didn't give them a break. Okay, they pushed them over to one side, obviously to go for their weakness, if you like, and the plan worked a treat. Brighton probably not quite so much as Tottenham, but nevertheless, they are prone to the odd mistake at the back playing out. So, yeah, that's potential. And obviously explosive going forward, counter-attacking football. We know what Bournemouth can do. Yeah, it should be a really, really interesting game. Now, here's a stat for you. Brighton beat City, didn't they? Last time out. Last time out, Tottenham beat City. And then who did he come up against? So, is that going to play? Is that going to play into us? Yeah, I mean, who knows?
Yeah.
Football does crazy things, doesn't it? So
it does indeed. Yeah, it absolutely does, and it all comes down to the day, right? So
yeah, it's a bit of a weird thing, really, because we're at home, and I don't know. I mean, I'm going for a win anyway. Obviously, the smaller pitch and everything else at home, but yeah, if we get stuck into the game straight away early, so early doors, hit the ground running and everything, then why not? I think it could be quite a very, very entertaining game.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a great game. I absolutely agree there.
Yeah, I mean, they're always close games against Brighton, isn't it? There's no team that actually dominates, well above the opposition. But yeah, pretty close call. But I think this time round, we're gonna put the goals in this week, mate.
Yeah, fingers crossed, mate. Fingers crossed. That's what I'm looking forward to. Now I'll come to mine in a minute. I'm just going to do the comments in the chat.
Yeah.
So Paul Sants, trouble is predicting teams. I can't spell half of them. Yeah, it's a big problem at the minute, Paul. We're going to discuss this, Jay Soma. So, odd news: Dewberry's kid going to Olympiacos. Yep. And where has Favour gone? Yep. We're going to discuss both of those in just a moment. No, Adley, I'm a fan from Malaysia. Fantastic. Can't wait to see the next match. Yeah, really, really looking forward to it for you. No.
It's nearly as bad as the summer break, this, isn't it? Having an international break.
Yeah. Well, the
Bloody
thing
all-
is they become more regular now as well, right? Because we've got AFCON coming up in December or over Christmas. Then there's another international break in November for 2 weekends.
October's the break. Yeah.
And then we've got back in again in February, and then back in again April. So it seems a bit excessive. When the main focus, let's be honest, for most players is probably the full-time league, the season, the team that they're playing at, not necessarily international. So interesting. Sean, yeah, we're going to come back to that shortly. Sean, Jay Summer says thanks. Darren, not sure how Favour has gone after the transfer window ended. Yeah, not sure, but we're going to come back to that. Nur says, I hope Alex Jimenez can play this Saturday. He is available, so he could start. He could play. Could be a sub. Watch this space. Darren Hurst, excellent selection. We are so lucky to have what is basically, for the first season, 17 first-team players. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, so it's a real struggle to pick, right? Darren,
it was.
players.
Sorry.
Go on. That's okay. Go on.
All I was going to say is, it's difficult for us to say, what's going to be our starting 11. What must Andoni be thinking?
Yeah,
when he's got everybody available.
Do you reckon he sat there rubbing his hands, or do you reckon he sat there scratching his head? Which one is it? So, I don't know what to do here.
Obviously, tactically and everything, they'll have their plan. It is just that how's things gone in training? The new players that have just come in. But I think in the back of his mind, he already has probably a starting 11. Even though it's only like Thursday today, he probably has got the best part of his starting 11 already 100%. In mind.
It wouldn't surprise me if he had that on the weekend. If he was already it being an international break, no plans going on at the weekend. It wouldn't surprise me if he was already laser focused in for this week, right?
Yeah, the only thing is does everybody come back, injury free? That would be the only concern. But obviously, we haven't heard anything, so it looks like all go 100%, which is good news, obviously. But they will happen at some point in the season, so later rather than sooner.
Yeah, I agree. Darren Hurst, standout players, Brooks and Sinessi. Adams and Christie are obvious choices.
Yeah.
Chris Hubble, can AFC Bournemouth win on Saturday afternoon? What's the score going to be against Brighton? What do you reckon?
Do you know what? Just from the top of my head, I said 4-1. Now, I know at some point in this season, I don't know, directly, but my mind says we're going to smash somebody. Could be this weekend.
You reckon? That's interesting.
Yeah,
nice.
Why not?
Love it.
Why not? Positive vibes, mate.
Yeah, for sure. I'm going to go 3-2 Bournemouth. I think it's going to be much closer, and
I'll take that.
Yeah. Funnily enough, both of our predictions are in the chat. So Darren Hurst 3-2 is my prediction. Cannot wait. I'm like an excited kid at Christmas. Yeah, I feel the same as that, Darren. Believe me. And then Dan Short 4-1. Cherries is my prediction. So we've got similar there. Chris Hubble, I'd take Darren 3-2.
Yeah. Good.
Noah Adley, Bournemouth 3-1 against Brighton.
Not bad.
Sean 2-2, Brooks and Sinessi to score. And then Dan says, where are we with injuries?
We're not, are we?
No, if you want to go back to last Thursday's show, Dan, I believe. I think we did injuries then. But yeah, it's not. There isn't really.
Obviously, Unal.
Yeah, and
But we're not sure about Lewis yet at the moment, are we?
Adam Smith still out for a little
Obviously,
bit till the end of the month. But yeah, minor things I think at the moment, and people are on their way back, so it's not the biggest concern at the moment, Dan. Liam Humby 2-1.
Not bad. Yeah, good choice.
Paul from Oz just got home, joining you guys at Bournemouth 3-0. Paul from Oz, welcome back, Paul.
Welcome back.
Yeah, go back and watch the start of the show so you can see Malcolm's prediction for Saturday. I'm going to run through mine before we go on to the two players that we were going to discuss that have vacated. And just saying here, Dan Short, according to Premier League website, Cook is suspended third game, maybe. Interesting. I thought it was only 2 games, but we'll see. I'll come back to that in a moment. Cool. Okay, so very, very similar. I think I read out my starting 11. So I'd go Petrovic in goal, of course. And then right back, James Hill. Left back, Truffaut. Both centre backs, Diakite and Senesi. And then, as I mentioned, Tyler Adams, Alex Scott, David Brooks on the right, Anton Semenyo on the left, Tavernier centre attacking, and Evan Nilsson up front. Now, the only difference I would have is, I say difference, it's not really a difference. It's those 4 players that I mentioned, Jimenez, Christie, Clivert and Adley. I think irrelevant of what happens, we bring Jimenez and Adley on at half-time.
Makes sense, doesn't it, down the right?
Absolutely, yeah. There's nothing in my mind that goes, right, let's create this tactical bond in separate segments of the pitch, right, and not utilize it. And I think if you've got players like Jimenez and Adley with fresh legs, wanting to impress, wanting to come on and show what they're worth against a team like Brighton, who have just beat City, and the second half, I think that's a what do you call, like, the perfect storm, you know? Like, it's almost everything coming together there for me in my mind to go, holy crap, look at that. Look what's going on there, you know? So ideally for me, it'd be Adley and Jimenez coming on at halftime, and then Clivert and Christie coming on around the 60th minute just to solidify the squad and to give people a break. But that I reckon we've got a seriously strong chance to get another 3 points on Saturday, which is
why not?
Just fantastic. Yeah, really good.
The only thing I'd go against there is that Andoni very seldom puts on new legs at the start of the second half.
Yeah, agreed. But it'd be nice to see. It'd be nice to see.
It's opinionated. It's great.
Yeah. Sean says, wasn't the third game the last game of the season where he got the card? And Paul Sants says, trouble is they have not played together yet. No, they haven't. But we have this issue quite a few times already this season, right? I mean, we've had Diakite come in at the Liverpool game, hadn't played with anyone. And, you know, he did fantastically, really, in that sense. So, yeah, these things happen, Paul. But we've got to address them and take them head on and keep our fingers crossed and see what happens. Now moving on to 2 players who are no longer at the club, Malcolm. Now, one of them, I can't say his name. Fevra. Everyone's been going about him. Let me get him up on the screen so everyone knows who I'm on about. This guy. Not sure how February has gone after the transfer window has ended. So he has gone. He's completed a loan move to the Saudi Pro League for a club called Al Tawoon. Means he's obviously no longer part of the Bournemouth squad. Don't know how this has happened. After the transfer window, there was no speculation in regards to him going to the Saudi League. So I don't know. I'm unsure how this has happened, how it's come about, and why we're only finding out about it in the last 24 hours, to be honest.
A bit odd, really.
Yeah, I don't know. And there's limited information around it as well. So It's a strange one. I've just seen Darren Hurst.
Yeah, I've just read it.
One of your subs are the epitome of Saint and Greavesy motto. It's a game of two halves. Absolutely. Yeah. Is the loan window open for Saudi?
I mean, that's a
Possibly.
good point, actually.
Yeah, that's not a bad shout. Let me find out. But the other one is another player that we mentioned this morning or yesterday, wasn't it, Malcolm?
Yeah,
And that was Zane Silcott Dubry to Olympiacos.
yeah.
Again, that's on a permanent deal. What do we think about that? Because he was a decent performing academy player. He has had some appearances. Don't see any reason for him to go to Olympiacos.
I think we'll have to. I mean, you've got a list of all your players for the weekend. All right, so you've
Yeah.
got your starting 11, you've got a subs bench that we could only dream of. Where are these youngsters going to get minutes?
Well, yeah.
It's going to be very, very tough for them to break through into the first team now. And the possibility of getting minutes, from the bench, have reduced drastically, really, this season.
Yeah.
I mean, I can understand, them wanting to go. I mean, loans would be better if we could call them back, should we need them.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, they've also got to think about their careers, and they're footballers. They want to play football. So, yeah, it's a tough cookie to call. I mean, we've developed some really good youngsters, and it's sad to see them just disappear. Sadly, that is the way football is, isn't it? But we're not the only club. I mean, there's loads of clubs that have said they've produced some wonderful young talent, but just let them go.
Yeah, and I
Crazy.
think it's not cutting your losses, is it? It's almost trial and elimination, right?
Well,
Some
the thing
players.
is, if you've developed your players, when they're sold on, there's profit, isn't it?
Yes, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, still profit, but I think that's when it comes down to, who's worth the time and investment and who isn't it?
Yeah.
Which, but then, as you said, there are other clubs and other leagues that put certain time and investment into players that the Premier League or the Championship might not. Which again only does, in turn, as we know, the European football framework develops players into a way that allows them to come back into the Premier League. So, yeah, I agree with you, and we'll see what happens with him. But I'll be following. I'll be following to find out how he goes on at Olympiacos for sure.
Yeah, wouldn't it have been interesting just to throw this in here? What about some of the other clubs, like Hibs or whatever, Lorient,
Yep.
that are under Bill Foley's umbrella,
Or why not the Australian League?
whatever.
Yeah.
But choices have been made. So, yeah, sadly.
Yeah, absolutely. Let me just go to the comments before I mention about the Saudi transfer window, because I've just done some research. So Matt says transfer window isn't shut for all countries. Saudi is still open. I think Turkey as well. Yeah, absolutely right. So the Saudi transfer window actually shut yesterday.
Right,
so it's up to the 10th
well, that'll
of
make
September.
sense then, won't it?
Yeah, and it's not the only only country in the world. So there is other countries like Albania, Algeria, Andorra, Angola, Virgin Islands. There's about 30 countries that still have the transfer window open until the 10th. So that's why that happens. That makes sense. Excuse me. Sean, I think the Scottish transfer window goes on for 2 weeks longer. I think I read. Yeah, possible for sure. Matt says 30% sell-on clause put in by Bournemouth.
Okay.
Interesting. Didn't know that, Matt. No, Adley says I think Senesi is one of the best defenders in the world, in my opinion.
Solid.
Yeah, he's definitely solid, and he's definitely starting to perform more. He's starting to come into his shoes a bit more, especially as a Bournemouth defender.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, I thought he was going to be gone this season.
Yeah.
But the fact that he's still here and he's now a first squad player, first team player, is only good news. And I think it's only going to be getting better for him as he develops, to be fair. Darren Hurst, I think Fevra's move was against his wishes. He had offers to move and refused, perhaps fell out with internal management and was pushed.
Who knows?
Possibly. Yeah, possibly, Darren. The politics that go on internally are usually kept quite close to chests, especially. It was perhaps fell out with internal management. I'm not sure. I'm going to actually have to do some research into that this morning because I don't know what's happened there. Sean has gone on to any news on us becoming Category 1. Nope, we won't know anything till the end of this season, Sean.
Right.
Nothing at all will
They
be
don't
spoken
say a word. They don't say a
internally
word.
or externally for anyone. If anyone to know in regards to the Category 1 upgrade for Bournemouth. But we will know at the end of the season, and that is happening this month. If I'm correct in thinking, it'll probably be around the 17th, but again, we won't know. Now, I'm going to do these messages in reverse from Matt. So he actually said predictive text. The message that he wanted to read properly was for Silcott Dewberry, the sell-on clause. Fantastic news. I appreciate that. However, it did come out incorrect the first time. Silcott Puberty, the sell-on clause. So appreciate that for the giggles this morning, Matt. But I can't imagine that was on purpose. Silcott Dewberry there, predictive text there. No, perfect. Thanks, Matt. Appreciate that. Again, well, firstly, I didn't know that we had transfer windows around the world that were open until the 10th of September. So that's nice to know and learn, which is fantastic. Secondly, I wish them all the best. I was Silcott Dewberry and Fevra. Again, Bournemouth players, they've played for us, they've had appearances for us. So in my mind, anywhere else that they go, I'll always have time for them as Bournemouth players, to be honest.
There was something else actually that we should have covered yesterday, but I don't.
Go on. Why wasn't it covered?
I wonder why it wasn't covered. Offside.
Yes. Okay. So this is the new update as of like 5 days ago or a week ago or something. I think we said.
Whenever, yeah.
And it's in regards to the offside. So it's now a player is considered offside only if their entire body is behind the last defender. Meaning no more toes or elbows or knees or facial hair that's pushing the offside over, which is ridiculous. Yeah. So we now have the entire body must have crossed the defensive line. What do we think about that?
Rightly so. I mean, this drawing the lines and everything with VAR, and like you said, bloody toenail in front of the whatever, it's just garbage. I mean, the linesman wouldn't have a chance of seeing that, would he? So he couldn't put his flag up anyway because it's for him not clearly obvious. And it's only when somebody sits in the studio with all the technology and says, "Hang on a minute," and it is literally millimeter, isn't it? And I just think that it's just so disgusting that it kills the game for me. Obviously, you're talking, the time spent analysing all this while the players stand around waiting. Some brilliant goals have been chalked off because of it. I think it's very, very unfair, but good.
Yeah.
I mean, that came out from FIFA, didn't it? So, it wasn't Premier League. It was actually from FIFA. They wanted to bring this in. So world football.
Again, the fact that I think it's important to notice that changes are still being made from the top. Firstly, I think it's good to see that they're football's an old sport, right? It could definitely be stuck in its ways. It doesn't necessarily have to continue to adapt or grow with the era or with the sport or with the professionals. And I think that's one of those things that can happen. A change which is incredibly sensible and logical, and was causing issues. If you took VAR away, you're absolutely right, Malcolm. What referee in this world is going to notice a kneecap or a weenus? Or do you know what I mean? You can't. How are you possibly going to get? It just doesn't make sense, right? So if you have VAR involved, then of course you can get it down to the molecular level of seeing, is there a centimetre of something over the line? But take that away, and it's obviously been recognised from the hierarchy as well. And it makes the game better. It makes the game flow better. It gives back more minutes. Everything about that decision for me is positive. It's an absolute no-brainer. Paul says that should cut the VAR times down. Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
Darren Hurst, offside rule has gone full circle to back in the day when I played. Yeah. Of the forward as ahead of the last defender here. If the forward is ahead of the last defender, he is offside. Full stop. Agreed. Paul Sands, does it start this season? I think so.
I hope so.
Pretty sure it starts immediately. Yeah, I think it starts immediately.
The thing is, do the people in the VAR in Stockley Park, do they realise what the implications are going to be now? Not that they're going to go straight in and jump in and check and maybe make their own call. You know what I mean? Because I mean, they're not. Yeah. To be honest with you, they should know what the rules are. They should.
Yeah, they should. But again, so I don't know if you've been listening to a lot of the chat that goes on behind certain decisions that are made in football. So you see it on the news sometimes, see it on Match Today sometimes, and you can hear them, can't you? You can hear the fourth official, the referee, talking over the game when an incident happens, and then referring back to the two guys in VAR, and then both giving their opinions and investigating what happened. And sometimes it can depend on how someone sees it.
Exactly.
And I think there's that creates too many ifs and buts and too many. There has to be some set criteria with these decisions. Surely, it can't be this guy was running at this pace, so because he lifted his leg in that way, that actually voids the challenge.
Yeah,
I don't think it can work like that. So yeah, I think Paul, you're right. It's got a poor history because of silly decisions that have been made, and this can only make it better. It can only make it better, surely. Darren mentions here, trouble is now VAR will go the other way, and instead of drawing lines at front of attacker, we'll now be drawing lines at the last body part.
I hope not. I just hope that they say, look, we've had a look at it. He's onside, and that's it. Goal given or whatever.
Yeah, but I do think he's right. I think it will bring up more issues. Well, not more issues. I almost see VAR as, back in the day, you'd get that really old school human resources or admin person, right? And sometimes they'd create work just to be busy for the day, right? And I kind of feel like that's VAR. I feel like VAR almost wants to be there to create discussion, to stop and pull apart and it doesn't
justify their jobs, basically.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Exactly that. Yeah. Like almost sound important in the back, and I know this. No, I don't agree with it, and I think it's falling out of line a little bit here. But Paul from Oz, that's exactly what I thought, Darren. Matt says buckets to the Premier out now. Darren Hurst or Daz from Oz tells us his story of being a Cherries fan.
Yay!
That looks good.
More entertainment today.
Yeah. Yeah, thanks, Darren. I'm very much looking forward to that. I shall also be watching that this afternoon. Chris Hubble says, have a great day, Matt. Very nice, Chris. Darren, wonder which goalie will forfeit a corner for 8-second rule that leads to a goal.
Well, once happened, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Was it Burnley?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. This is interesting. Interesting. There's gonna be some things to discuss for sure. Matt, no cherry picking this week. Dean Court Social Brighton match preview out at 8 p.m. tonight. Fantastic.
Just
Go
too
and
much
watch
to
these.
watch.
Yeah, go and get on these. There's some really good stuff. And now that the Premier League is back in action this weekend, now's the time to catch up on all of these videos. Do also go and watch the French Beret version that Matt and I want to
Johnny
say
Blair.
Johnny Blair.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Yeah, really, really good show, that one. And falls in line perfectly with all the other beret shows. So we've done an Irish one, we've done a Welsh one, I believe.
The
There's
Scottish one,
Scottish one. Yeah, some brilliant ones on there.
Mm.
Paul says, agree with Darren. Paul from Oz, agree, Ollie, but they still get it wrong. Yeah, don't they just? Paul, all players will now shave their heads, otherwise a hair might count. Yeah, exactly. And that's why it's getting ridiculous, and that's exactly what we're doing.
Yeah.
And then finally, before we start to close down the show this morning, Darren, how do you feel about obvious offsides and they let play continue and wait to stop and bring it back? What if during this time a player gets fouled or injured? Yeah, again, don't understand. If you see an offside, flag should be up.
Yeah.
I don't care what's happening, whether you're waiting for VAR, whether you're waiting for a goal to play out. If you're running down that line, following the line of play with the line that the ball's in, and you've seen an offside, you throw your flag up. If the ref decides to not
offside is offside, isn't it?
offside.
To be honest with you,
you have to run down that way, that line with your flag in the air to show the ref that you've just seen an offside. And I think it should be down to the ref to then decide whether the play continues or not. But at that time, that lino needs to stick his flag needs to be in the air if he's seen an offside. It's as simple as that.
Yeah. Last season there was a player seriously injured, wasn't there? When he hit the post.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that should have been called back.
Yeah, exactly. And this is the thing: is you can't have and there isn't a set criteria. It comes back to what I was saying a minute ago. It could be this situation happens like this, and the exact same situation happens like this, but it happens differently. So, and VAR will never classify those things as the same because there's different rules and different criteria. It's it's frustrating. Paul, thanks, lads. Great show. Yeah, running up to 45 minutes today without even noticing, which is fantastic. Paul from Oz, good stuff, lads. Paul from Oz, no flag can cause injuries. Yeah, agreed. Darren, only need to watch the Buckets to Premiership shows. I hear there was a great bloke on there.
Matt? Yeah, we know Matt's a great bloke.
Yeah, Matt's a lovely guy, Darren. Yeah, we've actually been working with him for a little while. No, Darren, yeah, absolutely. I also hear that there's a great guy on there as well. So if you haven't met that guy yet, go and watch him because fantastic shows and what could possibly be a new addition to the team soon, I imagine. And Chris, great show, Mal and Ollie. Yeah, chat. Really, really appreciate you guys. Go on, Mal.
You doing cherry slaps on Monday?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, cherry slaps, 7 p.m. onwards will be the normal Monday night reaction show this week against Brighton. Okay. Luckily for me, I do have a couple of Brighton fan friends, so I'm hoping that we have some opposition on the show finally, which would be
nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it'd be great. It'd be great. So please do join me and Malcolm on Monday night at 7 p.m. Do also keep on board for the Dean Court socials and everything else that comes out. But as long as you've got that bell, that little notification bell in the top right-hand side of your YouTube screen, clicked and notifications on, you'll get notified about all of these videos that come out, all of the live streams 30 minutes before, and you can keep up to date with everything that we do. But for now, we shall bid our farewells. Up the cherries, and fingers crossed for this weekend, people. Malcolm, pleasure as always.
Thanks very much for having me on. Yeah, have a great day, everybody, and up the cherries.
Up the cherries. Thanks.
TalkSport Fan Network.
The ultimate on-demand destination for the UK's best fan-led football podcasts.
Want authentic supporter insight on all things Bournemouth? Follow Up the Cherries in all departments on the TalkSport Fan Network.
Club-dedicated content created by the fans, for the fans.
Search TalkSport Fan Network.
I should be like you, Mel.